BTMreview.com here with the Retro Rampage podcast. Keeping the theme as last episode, we're going to be talking about some Nintendo. This is Aaron. I got Zach here. What up?
What's up?
We're going to be talking about the highly anticipated, or mildly anticipated, I don't know if I'd go as far as saying highly anticipated, Star Fox Zero and the controversy, more or less surrounding that. Before I kind of really get into that, because that's going to be the main topic, I do want to share a grievance that I had recently with a topic that I'm pretty used to, and anybody out here that listens to us on a regular basis is used to, but it's Hyperkin and their Retron 5. Zach, have you seen a Retron 5? Have you played a Retron 5? Have you heard about the Retron 5?
No, aren't those like the old school systems?
Yeah, it plays quite a lot of the retro systems, and it pretty much works off emulation. You put your card in, and it extracts the ROM from the cart, right? So at that point, you're playing the ROM. And there was a lot of controversy surrounding it, from it getting delayed a million times. It literally was delayed a year and a half, right? Constant re-release dates, and getting pulled. And then they didn't have enough shipment, even after that, to supply all of the people that pre-ordered it. And you had people with pre-orders waiting way longer to get their hands on it than people that were able to walk in a store and grab one sometimes. It was a big mess, and then if that's not enough, then when it came out, it had a series of problems. It needed serious updating, and they had to hurry up and fix patches because it was just a train wreck. They eventually got it up and going, I guess, after a series of updates and some work. But what made it work? It just kind of kept stacking on for them, and then there was. Did
they ever get lawsuit?
They got a lawsuit because they found out that they pretty much stole the software they were using.
Oh, I remember hearing
because they were pretty much just using SNESX, right? All these different ROMs that are the most popular emulators that are online that were built for non-profit. They're for everybody. They do not sell them. It's not for profit. The creator's not for profit. They fucking stole them and put them in their machine and making profit off of it. Yeah. So basically they built the shell. It's got a unique interface and it's got its own shell, so it is its own thing, but basically it's just running off all the most popular emulations that are already established online that we've been playing for fucking 10 years, right? Which is fine and dandy because they're the best for a reason. But anyway, they did it without permission. That's some shady shit. So already from there, they were on my shit list because they were just the worst as far as a business. And it just, everything about it was so scummy. And I tried to correspond with them and talk with them and from a press, side of things. And they were just so unprofessional, the way they were giving information to me and the way they would treat me. I didn't care for it. And I vowed to Riverman, a fellow podcaster over here, I vowed that it's I was so disgusted with their business practice and just how unprofessional everything was going. Basically biting off way more they can chew, taking more money than they had to actually produce and give out. And I said, I'm not getting this. I boycott it. It's because it sucks because I really wanted one. But I was I can't do this. It's just so faulty. Anyway, fast forward a year.
I got one.
Well, fast forward a year. It's you know what? All the kinks, I guess, are worked out. Amazon started carrying them again, so they clearly worked out the lawsuit. I didn't hear anything about that getting resolved, but it had to have because now it's on Amazon again. And, they must have settled something out of court, right? So it's fine. Yeah. So I finally bought one, and then I get in the mail. The fucker overheats every 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, the thing just gets scalding hot every 10 minutes. And trust me, it's not. I'm not keeping it on a carpet. I got to a point where I was stacking it on old NES cartridges to give it air. But it was
fucking fan on it.
Yeah, I need to put my own fan on it. I shouldn't have to do that shit. But it like clockwork. It was overheating every 10 minutes, and it would freeze your game. It was just, the whole thing would shut down, freeze, and you couldn't do anything. You had to unplug it from the back. And then it knows, it's like your cell phone or whatever device, it knows it's too hot. So you try and plug it back in, turn it on, it won't even turn on. It's too hot. And so it would overheat every 10 minutes, and I'd have to unplug it, and then I'd have to wait 30 minutes for it to cool down before I can turn it on again. And then, of course, I'd turn it on again, and it just 10 minutes later overheats again. So it's like, I bought this fucking system so I could take it over to my brother's house out of town, and we could have like a game night. And we spent the whole night just dicking with it, not actually doing anything. Yeah. And it was just, it's a cool, if you take out that problem from what I played, it was cool. It was cool.
Is it like a design flaw with all of them, or just yours?
Oh, and this is my big beef, because I contacted them and I was corresponding with them. And you know how it is talking to customer service reps? They ask you all the annoying questions that little by little, like it's a very slow conversation. They'll answer you with one little tidbit of information, and then they'll give you another little nibble of information 2 hours later, 3 hours later. It's like, God dang it. So you know this is happening. So what I do is in my first message, I lay it on them. Like, hey, here's the story, yada, yada, yada. I know about this stuff. It's overheating. It's like, it's not, I'm just going to save you guys the trouble. You know, it's not kept in a closed space. I've got it, you know, ventilated. I'm going through all the fucking general questions they're going to ask me, right? Mm-hmm. And then it doesn't matter. Then the guy hits me back. Oh, like, do you have it in a closed? I'm like, motherfucker, I just told you that. And then like, I have to wait 3 hours for him to reply to me again. Oh, well, did you do that? Like, I was getting so fucking annoyed. I'm like, guys, listen to me. Stop being a dick. I just told you for a reason. This is what's going on. I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. And they went as far as saying some dumb shit like, "Are you sure the power cable didn't get tripped out?" I'm like, motherfucker. Every 10 minutes like clockwork. After it's clearly, I told him in the first message. I was like, asshole. I put my fucking hand on it and it burns you. It is fucking hot and it's overheating. And it's just bullshit. And then after I finally went through this tedious thing of 2 days of just getting for them to be on my page after my first message, they're like, "Oh, well, it sounds like we might have to get you a new system." I'm like, you think? And basically, and I was really disappointed in all this. And he goes, "All right, so what I'll do," and I told him, I said, "You know what?" He's like, "You guys have my information. I want you guys to send me a perfect unit, and I'll send this back. That's not a problem. But I want the fucking good unit first, because they're so shady at this point. I didn't want to send off a system and then be like, what system?" Because seriously, this is how fucking shady. Because anyway, so this guy told me, he goes, "Okay, so I'll get you one tomorrow, first thing tomorrow. I've got it submitted. We got it sending out. It'll get sent out first thing in the morning. And what's going to happen is in about 24 hours, you'll get an email email in the morning confirming that your order is shipped. And then in 24 hours, you'll get tracking. And then when you get the package of the new console, he guaranteed me by Friday, which was 2-3 days max. And he said in the package will be a shipping label to send back the other one. That's kind of like the way Amazon works, right? You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, great. Okay, so next day, no email. The next day, I get an email. But it's not the email that he told me I was going to get. It was an email with me to print out the return label so I can first send back the busted unit before they send out the new one. And he had already wasted like 4 days of my time at this point, and it's like, motherfucker, Friday came and went. I didn't get my fucking system, and I'm trying to get, and then I started emailing the same guy that I had been corresponding with, talking to him. He was ignoring my messages for 2 weeks. All of a sudden, he just wasn't talking to me anymore. When I told him, hey, look, I'm not sending this shit back unless you get whatever. It's like, fucking, this is bullshit. And he's like, you guys aren't giving me confirmation numbers. Like, where's my receipt here? And I just don't trust him. And motherfuckers, these guys had orders just disappearing when the thing first came out. Oh, where's my pre-order? I don't trust them. And then, of course, I vented like, oh, you guys, this is bullshit. I'm like, I did not want to support your company because of your fucking horrible practices. And I caved, and then I get it, and fuck if I didn't get fucked. It's like, I couldn't believe it. Now, like I said, ducked and dodged me, man. I was supposed to have that new system. He guaranteed it to me Friday 2 weeks ago. And I still never got it. And so I found out just a couple days ago that they actually have a customer service number, which surprised me because they're such a little company. I'm surprised they actually offered a phone number. They're like one of those people you usually have to fucking deal with corresponding via email or chat or something. So I called this number and I spoke to this girl receptionist, probably the wife of one of the fucking devs You know, they're that small of a company. And I told her, I was like, look, this is this is that. And she's like, I'm like, I got sent this to send back the system, when he told me straight up the next day he put in for the order and the next day it'd be shipped out and I'd get confirmation, all this stuff. I'd have the return fucking thing in the next box. None of that happened. She's like, well, that's the procedure. I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. That's the procedure. Well, it'd have been great if that motherfucker told me that was the procedure and I haven't been waiting here for 2.5 weeks thinking I had a system coming. It's just absolute bullshit. I'm like, you guys have had my money. It's like I gave you guys this money like a month ago. And I've seen nothing. And I get horrible customer service to boot. And then she assured me I absolutely had to go that route. And so I fucking sucked it up. And I said, look, I need a receipt. I'm scared you guys are going to fucking... I'm not saying you're going to run off my money intentionally. I'm saying you guys are incompetent. And you guys are going to fucking lose your shit. Oh, we don't have that number anymore. Ugh. So she's like, well, you can correspond with me. Here's my email. I always answer my email. I'm like, you do? Are you sure? Because you guys never fucking answer your email. It's like, and she's just kind of laughing. Well, I can't promise that to the other guys. Ha ha ha. I'm like, you fucking laugh one more time. I was pissed. I told Riverman I was going to record the conversation. I was going to tell them, I just want to let you know this call is being recorded for quality assurance on my part. Because as long as you tell them, it's cool. And I was gonna fucking play it on the air. I was gonna do it on a podcast, just to prove my point how shitty they are as a company.
That would have been hilarious.
So, and I totally forgot to do it, but I had to do it. And today, she emailed me another fucking return postage. I printed it out. I dropped it off at UPS today. And I took a picture of everything, my receipts, the fucking system, and I emailed it to her. And I'm waiting for an email tomorrow morning that says, got him. I'm like, you need to send me something now. Because she told me as soon as I sent it back, it would take, she's like, oh, well, you're not that far. I imagine it only take a few days to get to us, and we'll have that, and we could probably have it to you in, 3-4 business. I'm like, motherfucker, I was supposed to have this 3 weeks ago. Like, she's making it seem like she played it lightly. Like, oh, as soon as we get it, you'll have it in about another week and a half. I'm like, oh, that's really great. But if you guys had not lied to me the first time, I would have already had this. I would have already went through this long process. It's just a shitty practice, man. So fuck them. And I really, really, really don't want it. I was telling Riverman the other day, I was venting about this yesterday. I've just been looking at the system in my living room, sitting there, like next to my entertainment system center. And I look at it in disgust. Like, I don't even want it anymore. No, I do. I look at it, I'm like, fuck these guys. I do not want it. I look at it, I'm pissed. So I'm going to get this thing, and I'm not in love with it. I just don't want it anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
What if you get it and it starts overheating too? They just send you the same fucking one.
Oh, that'd be,
just to piss you off.
Be fucking horrible, man. Oh, you know what? They might do it just because they're fucking stupid. And you know what? Part of me was scared that the guy started ducking and dodging me. And what's fucked up is, I use Google Streak so I can see who reads my emails and what time they checked it.
Yeah.
So I can tell they're reading my emails. Google Streak's amazing, everybody. Use it, because you can fucking receipt your emails and people can't duck and dodge you. This fucker was reading my emails. So yeah, I mean, when he started ducking and dodging my emails, I was scared, like, okay, knowing them, they're probably out of inventory. Yeah. Because it's like, that's how fucking rinky-dink they are. And they're just like, oh, too ashamed to fucking come out with it. And so... Did
you buy it through Amazon?
Yeah, and Amazon said I had to go through them.
Really?
Yeah. They're like, we can give you your money back, but you have to, for stuff like this, you got to, I don't know what they had fucking worked out, but it was like, whatever. And I was talking to Amazon, they're way cool. And I'm like, man, but Hyperkin's so shitty. You guys need to stop doing business with them. They're shitty. But whatever. Anyway, and I was telling River, I'm like, watch, I bet River $10. I'm like, $10, Riverman? I don't get the same color back. Like, they fuck it up.
Get different colors.
Oh, yeah, because I actually got the black color, which retails for a bit more money, actually, for some dumb reason. But whatever, watch it.
They send you the cheaper one?
Yeah, watch it. They're just going to send me the cheaper one, which that's that I just expected out of them. That's just what they do. I'm like, oh... They're like the only retail in the world that replaces for something that's under retail and what you paid for. So I'm totally expecting it. I told River, watch, it's going to happen, or you got $10 in your pocket, and I'll be going to the fucking UPS and calling people up again, and watch. It's going to be 6 months before I even see a system I don't even want that I paid for. So I know I ranted about that for a long time, but I swear I'm done with it. But
that's entertaining.
I'm fucking done with them. They're a horrible. I can't say enough bad things. They were ignoring my emails for so long, for near 2 weeks, that they forced me to resort to blowing up their Facebook wall. No, yeah. And the thing is, if you go on their Facebook, you know, they don't have like a huge, they've got like 20, 30,000 likes, right? It's not a huge, they can manage it, right? And it's so funny, man, because anybody that criticizes them in any way, they ignore it and they throw you away. But anybody that says any praise or has like a general question that's like an interest, they get right to that. They post right back, right? And then sometimes I've seen them, if somebody had some kind of issue with the system, maybe they weren't so volatile as me and angry, they'll get right back to him like, oh yeah, you do this with an answer. Man, I put a big fucking message on their wall, and I explained, hey, this is me, remember me, assholes, here's screenshots of our email, here's the screenshots of the email of you telling me you do this, here's the screenshots of the emails that came the weeks after where you were just ignoring me, here's the screenshot saying you viewed my email. You know, it's just all this shit. And that I was, I felt like they ripped me off. I felt like I just fucking loaned them a bunch of my money. It just went on and on. Of course, no comments. And so I just, I sound like such a baby right now, but.
A similar thing happened to me when I sold like a copy of fucking Devil May Cry 2 on PlayStation 2. I sold like a used copy of it. And the guy I put it up there really cheap. The guy ends up sending me a mail after I have just got done shipping it and like, hey, I want to cancel it. I don't want the game anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, when you get it, just return to sender and I'll send your money back. And I went ahead and sent his money back right then, like a fucking idiot. And then he decided, well, I got it and I want to keep it.
And he didn't return the money to you?
Yeah, I asked him like, can you like? I was asking him to like send it through PayPal. He's like, I don't have one. Can you get one? It's not hard, and stuff like that. And like, I ended up going through Amazon and telling them the story, and they're like, well, since you gave him back the money, we really can't do anything. So yeah, I stopped doing that.
That's shitty, man.
Yeah, it was only $5 fucking though.
Yeah, I know. It's like, it wasn't worth the stress.
Yeah.
And the work of it. That's what I'm saying. This shit wasn't even worth the stress of it anymore. It's just, it blows me away. I'm glad people like Hyperkin exist though, because, they show you what not to do as a small business. I just, it's absolutely stupid. I mean, I'm glad people like that exist. But they're a horrible company, and I get it. I sound like I'm being a bully. Oh, they're a small company, and they only have so much manpower. I don't know. I mean, just don't bite off more than you can chew. And I don't know. It's like, how hard is it? You guys can't have that much flow coming in. Like, don't read my emails and not answer it. If you have enough time. Seriously, my emails were so to the point, obviously. Like, literally, if you have enough time to read my email, you have enough time to type, oh shit, sorry. Let me get back to you. Or, oh shit, this is what it is. Here, I'll fix it.
Were you getting like billed for how long you talked to him?
No, come on.
Oh, okay. That'd be fun if they were just trying to like keep you on there explaining stuff.
They were I mean, it's pending. I get this new system and it works. They may be the very first person I actually dispute with my credit card company. Like, hey, I'm disputing this charge because these fuckers are crooks. But anyway, their negative customer rapport is going to affect them. They're only going to be at a certain level, right? They're never going to expand past that. Obviously, people that it goes well for them, they love them, right? Todd got one, and Todd's works just fine, so he's happy with it. Great.
Okay, so it's not like...
No! Like I said, if you take away the overheating problem, from what I could gather from it, it's awesome. It really is. It's great. It's fun. It's convenient. So I'm not even mad at the faulty defect of it. I can understand from a small bit, because they're like, oh, we do quality tests on all of them. We run them. We like, these things are he told me they're designed to run for like over 48 hours straight before overheating. I'm like, wow, well, that's great. Well, this one failed the test. So whatever. I understand shit like that. They're a small company. This is where that stuff comes in. Okay. But it's their customer service that pisses me off.
Yeah.
That their business professionalism or lack thereof that pisses me off. It's not the mistake. That's whatever. Especially since I drove out of town and for fucking nothing. That pissed me off, man. I was like, oh, I guess I should have tried it before I left town and all that stuff, but whatever. That's what I get for having faith in a company. But anyway, whatever. Rant over there. God, Zach, this could have been an episode alone. This is so long, but we already said we're going to talk about Star Fox. We're going to finish off on Star Fox. Star Fox Zero, like I said, mildly anticipated, has come out, and it's gotten mixed reviews. We're talking, 70s out of 100, your 7 out of 10s. You're good. You're mixed reviews. And the biggest complaints are obviously the controls.
Really?
Yeah, because I have not played it yet. I'm afraid to buy it now because the reviews are just too polarizing for me. I'm afraid to drop the cash. I mean, I still would like to play it, but I'm not willing to pay $60 right now. I just don't think I could do it. So hopefully, if it really is that mixed, the price will get dropped, and then maybe that's when I'll give it a shot, right? And it's kind of
what's the problem with the controls? Is it like a touch screen type of control?
From how I can understand it, I mean, it's one of those things where I think I'm going to have to actually play it to really understand what they're talking about. From the way they describe it, you move your plane, you move your R-Wing with the joystick, classic style, right?
Yeah.
But you aim your fucking laser with the Wiimote, with the Wii pad. Does that sound fucked up to you?
Yeah,
like you're moving, you're tilting your Wii pad up and down and left and right as you're moving the joystick to move. And I don't know why they thought that was fucking innovative. That's just a fucking headache.
Yeah.
And everybody says it's not that you don't eventually get used to it. It's just it takes you a fucking long ass time to get used to it. It's just it's a headache. It's almost not worth it.
They probably don't have it so you can just change it to the right
No,
stick,
and that's
right?
another thing that's kind of burning people is different insiders, different media outlets, people that were playing the game, playing demos of the game, that people have contact with it. They were all informed, and it was kind of out there that there would be an option to just play Classic. So most people were kind of passing it off. Because people were saying that in the early days, wow, these controllers are really they're fucked up, and they were like, oh, they'll get fixed. It won't be like this when it actually launches, but either way, we're going to be able to play a classic style, so who really cares? Well, nope, no option. No, and the controllers are still shitty. And so that's a complaint. That's the major complaint. But then, I've heard people that are hardcore Star Fox fans that are bashing it, saying, you know what, even if they released a patch and they fix these fucking controllers, it's still not going to fix it completely because the levels are just bad.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they say. And they say what makes it worse is it's a reboot of Star Fox 64. It's a reimagining. It's literally, they say it's the exact same story. They say the same old do a barrel roll. They say the same shit. You remind me more of your father every day. And it's not.
Why is it called Star Fox Zero then? I thought it sounds like a prequel.
It's dumb. They said it's not even like a homage in a cool way, like nostalgic. Oh man, he said it. It's like more like when they say this stuff and you go through these you roll your eyes because it's so fucking predictable. You know it's coming because it's just a rehash. Yeah. Corneria, the whole deal. And I don't know. And it was already getting like controversy just because the graphics weren't quite up to par. But those weren't really bothering me personally. But now that it doesn't really make up for it in other areas, kind of pisses me off. And then everybody complains about controlling the God, what is it, man? The little thing that walks around land, the Landmaster thing. It's not like the Landmaster in Star Fox 64. It's like this little. It's Fox's R-Wing morphs into like a transformer, and it like walks around.
Yeah.
People say that's just miserable. Those levels are miserable. The way it controls, and it's just not fun. It's just miserable. Yeah. And so.
That's too bad. Hopefully, maybe they'll put an update where you can do the classic controls. Yeah,
because I mean, at that, if they put in the classic controllers, I'll still want to play. it. Like, just give me if they can at least make it classic, I'll still check it out. And it kind of bums me out because the packaging is so cool because it comes with Star Fox Guard, I guess they packaged it, and and basically. That's just like a glorified mobile game. People say it is what it is. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But the packaging's cool, man, because it's got like the big box, and the cool artwork. I mean, I know I'm kind of materialistic like that, but it just looks like a really pretty package. It's a shame that I can't bring myself to go buy it because it looks so cool. And
I like that they brought back the freaking puppet for the commercials.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And part of me that it's also like it'll be like Star Fox Assault, where if you don't get it. it'll fall into obscurity and it'll be hard to get.
Yeah.
And then the price will just go up. So I think there's obviously going to be a price decline, and before obviously it gets phased out, that's when I'll get it. If I do. But it's disappointing because, like I said, I've watched reviewers and stuff, people that were hardcore Star Fox fans, even they're agreeing that this is sadly, and they hate it, this is probably the death of the franchise. Because they had one hit under their belts. Even Star Fox was kind of a sleeper, the original. Star Fox 64 was kind of their one game that was kind of like mainstream, broad appeal. It's never been... It's one of their IPs, but it's not really a AAA title. It's like one of their IPs they treated like a AAA title, right? They gave it the credit. But it never really took off like Mario or Zelda or whatever, right? Same thing with F-Zero. Star Fox and F-Zero on a similar playing field, right? And... It's just a shame, but like you had Star Fox 64 right on the heels of that, capitalize on it. No, let's do Star Fox Adventures, a really shitty game. Like, wow, this is what you follow this up with. They killed their own franchise. Then Star Fox Assault, which tried to bring back some of that classic element to it. I know it had some land stuff too. It's stupid, but whatever. But even that didn't capture the magic. And then this one, this was their big chance to make it right, especially if they were being ballsy and going the reboot, right? That's when you come out with a reboot, that's basically saying, hey, look, clean slate. We're going to do it right this time. We're going to go back to basics. And they fucked it up again. So it's just like, we already didn't get a Star Fox on the Wii. Star Fox skipped last generation. So clearly there's not too much money to be made with Star Fox anyway. So the fact that they fucked up this one, I don't think they're going to be rushing to get another one made. Yeah. It's probably the end of it, sadly, but whatever.
And what was that story about the guy, the developer, leaving right after it came out?
I didn't realize Platinum Games made this, or at least were in co-development of it, but
neither did
the lead developer, I guess the day it got released, he quit. I'm not too sure if it had anything to do with the reviews of the game, or if they played it off like, it's my 10-year anniversary and it's time we change, directions or whatever. By the first day it came out, all the reviews had been out for a week, So maybe that's one of those things where Nintendo, he gets called into his boss's office like, what the fuck is this shit? You're fired!
Yeah, I usually like Platinum Games. I mean, the only one I really didn't that I remember playing was Metal Gear Rising. I just didn't like the controls.
And some people absolutely love it. Some people actually really like Metal Gear Rising. But, it's a shame, man, because especially when that was like the only fucking Nintendo IP release this year, or whatever, right? It's like been the only one. It's been really dry. And the fact that that's all we wanted to see at E3 last year, and even them, they fucking canceled. They got delayed. That was like the announcement, like, wow. So it's like a lot of mild hype for nothing. It's just really, and they don't have anything else to sort of wash it down. It's not like Star Fox was a sour taste in our mouth, and then don't worry, Zelda's coming out in a week. Everything will be right. No, there's nothing to wash that bad taste down and make it better. It's just like, when's the next Nintendo IP coming out? It's probably fucking Zelda. It's like, wow, so we get to sit on Star Fox for, however long.
Hopefully, like, the new guy that they just got for the new president just, like, is smarter, and he's just like, okay, let's greenlight, Metroid Prime 4. It's just all this
That's
stuff.
how you come out swinging with the NX, man. Fucking have a teaser of Metroid Prime 4, a legit, because they know people want it. They were already pissed when they got trolled with that Metroid Prime fucking game, that offshoot game, and people were teased and thought it was Metroid Prime, and it wasn't. It's like, wow, we don't want this shit.
Do something like with Zelda, the Link to, what's the new one called? Link to the Two Worlds.
Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, Link Between Worlds, and do like a pseudo 2D type of Metroid game.
They did that with Other M. Didn't go over well.
Yeah, but that game was I don't know what to say about that game.
I never played it. Did you play it?
I played it for like 20 minutes.
Is it that bad?
I remember I wanted to go back and play it, but like I remember it was just odd because you're only playing with the Wiimote. There's no like nunchuck or anything like that. And I remember like you're playing like that, and then like to go into first person mode, you point it at the TV, but then you can't walk while you're doing it. It was like, what?
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest downfall with these peripherals, man. They're just more hassle and sweat than what they're worth. But yeah, so I don't know. Hopefully things come out better. And what sucks about the Star Fox failing is not only are they going to probably abandon Star Fox completely because they already didn't give it too much love, it probably just ensures that, okay, now we're really never going to make another F-Zero. Basically, we're not going to waste our time and money on these kind of secondary IPs that we have because they're just not worth our investments. We're just going to keep making Mario and Zelda, Mario and Zelda, Mario and Zelda. And as much as people love Metroid, the Metroid Prime series does not sell as well as everybody's clamoring for.
I've heard that Metroid as a series altogether has never really sold as well in Japan as it does here.
No, it's true. It's one of those things where people, for some reason, start clamoring for shit, and then they've literally come out like, if you guys really want it, go out and buy it. Because it's like, you guys keep clamoring for sequels to this, but you guys didn't buy the last one. It's like well, it's like, and I get it from a business standpoint. Oh, we want this, we want this. It's like, vote with your wallets. And to be honest with you, it might look bad publicity wise if Nintendo ever went the crowdfunding route, but I almost wouldn't be too upset if they did it with a game like F-Zero. Like, look, they've already been very vocal about it. F-Zero does not make us that much money. It's not worth the investment. You guys want these games so bad. Fucking where are you when they come out, right? So maybe in a case like that, if they promised us a new F-Zero game, but they did a crowdfunding type thing, that I might be, because if that's the only way I'm going to get it, because I don't have faith that they're going to put one out, I might, be tempted to. But yeah, and same thing with Metroid. Everybody wants Metroid Prime 4. Those games are beloved. The ratings darlings, and everybody wants Metroid Prime 4. But like I said, if you actually looked at the numbers, I don't know. Everybody at the Academy loved The English Patient, but nobody fucking saw it in theaters, right? Everybody knows The English Patient because it was a big Oscar darling. But nobody saw it. Nobody gave it money. It's the same thing with Metroid. I mean, it's
maybe if that like moron PewDiePie reviewed it, people would go out and buy it.
Well, yeah, Nintendo has to pay him. But that's why Retro Studios made Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze instead of working on another Metroid Prime game. And it's like, well, why are you guys coming out with another Donkey Kong back-to-back when we want Metroid Prime? And they straight up said, look, Donkey Kong sells way more than Metroid. It's the case. And honestly, on paper, it's like you might think they're kind of even keel. They're like, no, Donkey Kong sells way more. It's like, start voting with your wallet.
So did Tropical Freeze sell really well?
Oh, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the numbers of game sales and stuff like that. Doesn't deserve to. It's too fucking hard. But goodness gracious. Well, I mean, this one's running a little long here, but I mean, that's sort of this kind of sounded like a big bitching podcast. It's kind of us complaining. But let us know what you think. You could feel free. Let us know what you think about Hyperkin. If there's enough of you guys out there that have an opinion. Like I said, your experience might have been great. Mine was just really bad. If you think I'm just a big whiny bitch, let me know too. YouTube, iTunes. Follow us on those websites and subscribe, and Facebook and tweeters and all that stupid stuff. And let us know, have you played Star Fox? Zach and I it sounds like we're both a little afraid to invest in it, but if you've played it and you like it, if there's anybody out there that absolutely loves it and has a testimony about it and wants to back up why certain things aren't as bad as people say, I personally really would like to hear it. So leave those comments for us in any of those different places I just told you about. Because I would like a little restored faith in playing it too. Because you never know. I still have an open mind. Like, there's plenty of games that get a little bit of a crummy rap, but I don't think deserve it, and I still get enough value out of it, right? Yeah. And part of me's like wishing maybe this is one of those games. But if it's got the shitty controllers, man, I won't.
That's the biggest thing.
That's the
for me.
biggest, and that's the biggest issue with this one. But there's other issues about the game, but that's the biggest one. So let us know, seriously. I need your guys' testimonies and reviews. But in the meantime, check us out later. I've been Aaron.
I'm Zach.
Adios.